I decided to take my paralyzed son and face the world's most brutal race, the Ironman triathlon. When the starting gun went off, every athlete dove straight into the ocean. But we were the only ones who needed staff to help us get into the water. The next second, I started pulling my son forward with everything I had, but the long-distance swim and the freezing sea wore me down fast. Still, I refused to quit. Soon, the other racers started reaching the shore and out in the endless water. Only the two of us were left. I fought through it with pure willpower. And at the very last second of the cutoff time, I finally brought my son onto the beach. That stubborn, never-quit spirit moved everyone watching to tears, but this was only the beginning. I did not even have time to catch my breath. I quickly changed my son into dry clothes, then I climbed onto the special bike built for us, and we were off again. We had to race the clock and somehow catch up to the riders ahead, but the heat was brutal. I pushed hard to close the gap, while constantly checking on my son's condition. Little by little, the distance between us and the others kept shrinking, and right then I suddenly noticed something. The road ahead was covered in signs cheering for us. It turned out the whole world was rooting for us, but fate was not done testing us yet. Right before the finish line of the bike leg, I noticed something wrong in my son's face. I stopped immediately to check on him, and that was when I saw it. His waist had been rubbed raw and blood was already seeping through. The moment we crossed the line, I rushed him to the medical tent for treatment, looking at him in pain. For the first time, I said we should stop, but my boy shook his head. He wanted to finish the run, so once again I grabbed the wheelchair and started the final 42-kilometer marathon. By then, we had been racing for 14 hours. Every step felt like I was walking on air. My body was already completely done. I dragged myself forward, one heavy step at a time toward the finish. All along the course, racers kept collapsing from exhaustion, and I was barely holding on myself. As the finish line got closer and closer, the athletes ahead crossed one after another, and there were less than 20 minutes left before the race ended. My mind started to fade. After stumbling a few steps, I finally crashed hard to the ground. My son looked at me completely drained. He knew his father had given everything, but my boy did not give up. He reached out with shaking hands and used every ounce of strength he had left to push the wheelchair forward, inch by inch. That moment lit a fire inside me again. Even though I was about to break, I let out a growl and forced myself back up. I grabbed the chair again, and with the last strength in my body, I sprinted toward the finish, like my life depended on it. At the very last second before time ran out, we finally crossed the finish line in that moment. For this incredible father and son, and for two souls who refused to bow to fate, the whole crowd erupted into thunderous cheers. People said his life had already been over, but I proved to the world with my actions. As long as you do not quit, the finish line will always be waiting ahead.